If your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. From where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Brothers, reflecting upon the gospel today, these are the 2 quotes from that speak the most to me. And in my experience in the mission in Cuba, I also experienced some fraternal correction moment, with other brothers to myself, which was a great opportunity for me to learn more about fraternal correction. And talking with Emilio, who is a missionary, a Capuchin missionary, he shared with me some great insights about fraternal correction that I think that are very worthy to repeat here in this reflection. He said to me, Saul, I have said to myself over and over again, when dealing with my own brothers in fraternity, it is so easy for our hearts to be moved when we encounter the poverty of the Cuban people in the streets, their miseries, and their all struggles that they have to face in life. But he said, but it is so hard for our hearts to be moved as quickly when we see the poverty and struggles of our own brothers in community, day in and day out. Reflecting in today's gospel, my brothers, I think we can say the same thing of our own community. It is so easy for us, for our hearts to be moved when we encounter the people that we minister in our own apostolates outside. But yet there is something that we struggle with our own selves, with our own hearts to be moved with the same compassion when we encounter the weakness of our close ones, of those who we know. In the gospel today, Jesus invites us to move our hearts in compassion by the poverty, by the weakness of our own brothers. If your brother sin against you, what do? Do you sit still, or do you get angry quickly? Jesus says instead, go and tell his fault between you and him alone. My own experience with this is kind of like the opposite of the gospel. Many times I have acted out of my own compulsivity that has led me to correct my brothers, not in private but in public. Not prudently but imprudently. Not discreet but in public. And not charitable at all. The bottom line is this: our own sense of taking the judge's place, it is our own struggle that we each have to reflect in this community and in every family that we live. If we read Mauro's letter, Mauro is our Minister General for those who are no Capuchins here. In his letter of identity and belonging, he has some strong words for us to live a Capuchin life in a fraternal way, which is genuine. He said we are called to live fraternity with intensity and fidelity. This is more demanding for us, brothers and sisters. If we are to live a fraternal life, or for those in Cap course, also in fraternal life, if you are to live a fraternal life within a marriage life or in a relationship, in intensity and fidelity, this requires a lot of us. And Mario Mastrelangelo, who is another Capuchin who did a retreat for us, a wonderful retreat, he gave us 3 principles, and I will leave you with these 3 principles that can help us, he said, in fraternal correction. First, be prudent and humble. Mario told us in one of the conferences, just think of it this way. Don't sound, when you're about to correct a brother, he says, don't sound like you are perfect, man. Just remember that. The second point that Mario gave us, be discreet. He told us, never correct a brother in public, because this demeans his own dignity. And the third point, be always charitable. Brothers, if we practice these 3 principles, I think we may encounter many treasures among this gospel today. It is not about not correcting and not taking the steps to correct one another, but it is about to do it as Jesus has invited us in the gospel today, to do it well, to do it with the love of God and neighbor that he spoke, that he still show to us, he continues to show to us here in the Eucharist. And then we can say these 3 principles from where 2 or 3 Capuchin brothers are gathered together, even among our own weaknesses, in Jesus' name, there he is among us.